whirlwind trip to attend multiple summits, and his agenda includes a highly anticipated sit-down with Chinese President Xi Jinping. President Biden is on a whirlwind trip to attend multiple summits, and his agenda includes a highly anticipated sit-down with Chinese President Xi Jinping. NBC's Josh Lederman is traveling with the president now in Phnom Penh, Cambodia. So Josh, big welcome to you. What do we know about that very high-stakes meeting on Monday? What are they going to discuss?
There is no question, Alex, that President Biden's meeting with Xi Jinping in Indonesia was the most watched moment of this entire trip, with White House National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan saying a goal for the president is to really establish a floor in a relationship where the bottom has truly fallen out over the last few months, including over tensions over Taiwan and Speaker Pelosi's visit to Taiwan. But in addition to that, there is going to be a big effort by the president throughout his meetings here in Southeast Asia, in Cambodia, to talk about China, which is really the elephant in the room for all of the meetings that President Biden has been having. And the whole point, really, of U.S. presidents coming to this ASEAN Southeast Asia conference is to try to strengthen America's relationships with these countries in Asia that are really pulled in two different directions between their desire to have strong relations with the West, with the U.S., and the fact that they're in China's backyard and certainly have important relationships there as well. So the U.S. looking to be able to form a counterweight to China's influence in the region by bolstering its alliances with the countries here in Southeast Asia. President Biden elaborating on what else he'll be discussing while he's in the region as he spoke to the ASEAN conference earlier today. Watch.
We will build a better future, the better future we all see, we want to see, and we're going to see for all 1 billion people in our countries. We'll also discuss Russia's brutal war against Ukraine and our efforts to address the war's global impacts, including in Southeast Asia.
And so that's really the other major topic here, right, Alex, is the war in Ukraine. And efforts to try to get some of these Asian nations to increase the pressure on President Biden. As he met with Cambodia's leader earlier, praised the Cambodians for issuing a clear condemnation of Putin's war. He'll also be speaking with President Xi about that, trying to get China to really ramp up the pressure and economic sanctions on Russia to try to starve it of the financing that it needs to be able to fund that war in Ukraine.
Shalom. Shalom. Give all praise to Yahweh Shem Yoshua B'Shem Rakakadash. Give honors to the elders and apostles that have been in truth on down regarding this truth and knowledge. And to Yahweh Shem Yoshua for putting the spirit of the men and the truth, elders and apostles on down, the men of the truth on down regarding this truth and knowledge. So we can know this truth and knowledge. Give all praise to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakakadash. Now relating to the G-20 summit meeting over in Cambodia, Phnom Penh, over in Cambodia area, and he'll be there for the whole week, relating to the G20 summit, relating to the to work on the relations between U.S. and China. It's pretty much one of the major agendas related to what President Biden is trying to do. It's over Cambodia. I'm going to go to Sirach 5 and 15. There's a couple of scriptures. That was an NBC report. Shalak. Ecclesiasticus or Sirach 5 and 15. Be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or small. So, regarding how great or how small it is, be not ignorant of it, man. Go to go to the First of Thessalonians, because they're trying to, make peace between, overall peace, but most of all have better relations between U.S. and China, man. And that's what they're trying to do. Besides, also, work on better relations with the countries, and for peace overall for the region, man, international region. We'll go to 1 Thessalonians 5:3. For when they say peace and safety, because they're gonna say peace and safety, everything's all right, but the reality it might not be. For when they say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, which is the birth pangs, and they shall not escape. So when they say peace and safety, having that form of peace and safety, even a false form of peace and safety, then what? Sudden things happen. Sudden destruction come upon. And basically, it comes like a thief in the night, man. We'll continue on. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. So being aware, be circumspect, be vigilant. Scripture talks about, not when that time is, man. Watch, because you know not when the Son of Man cometh, man. Paraphrasing. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, particularly the ones in truth, that day should not overtake you as a thief. Ye are all the children of light and the children of the day, and we are not of the night nor in darkness. And that relates to being blinded in gross darkness, man. When we awaken, man. Ephesians 5:15. Be circumspect and not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the times, because the days are evil. So be circumspect, be vigilant, be watchful, man. Spiritually, carnally, man. Because they're gonna say peace and safety. Then all of a sudden, sudden change happens, man, related to the dynamic of the situation, man. What else? Therefore, let us not sleep as do others. Others are asleep. They're blinded, man. Their eyes open, but they're blinded. They're not seeing the obvious, man. But let us watch and be sober. And sober means being serious, sober-minded, man. Watching, being vigilant, being circumspect, paying attention in this pretty much in circular motion, man. 360 degree, man. What's going on in society? What's really going on in society, and what's going on in your immediate surroundings, man. So in society and your immediate surroundings, man, be paying attention, because others are going to be sleeping blinded, but the children of the light, we're related to the hopeful elect, the ones who are in the truth. They're awake, man. Number 7. For they that sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night. But let us who are of the day be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, and for the helmet of salvation, pretty much the armament, spiritually, especially. All right, go to Scripture talks about because all these countries are trying to optically appear like everything's is going to be all right, and have the optics like the handshake between President Biden and Xi, like everything is good, but the reality is it may not be so, man. You know what I mean? That's all for the optics. All these countries hate each other, man. They only looking out for their own individual interests, man. Respect in their respective countries, man. By using one another, man. You see Ezekiel. And I'll correlate with 5 and 3, the one I'm going to go, 7 and 25. I'll correlate with 5 and destruction cometh, and they shall seek peace and shall find none. So they're going to seek peace and safety but find none, because what? Destruction cometh. Ezekiel 7 and 25, man. That goes to the thief in the night, man. Mischief upon mischief, rumor upon rumor. Then shall they seek a vision of the prophet, but the law shall perish from the priest and the counsel of the ancients. So you're not going to be able to find the wisdom and knowledge of that's to and fro, man. You're not going to be able to find it, man. Number 7. The king shall mourn, and prince shall be clothed with desolation, and the hand of the people of the land shall be in trouble. So relating to the state and condition of the things that's going to be going, man. Matthew 24, 10 through 12, man. The city in desolation, the city of confusion, man. And I will do unto them after their ways, according to their deserts will I judge them, and they shall know that I am the Lord, man. Proverbs 20, let me see. Let me find the scripture. Shalom. Proverbs 21 and 1. The king's heart is in the hands of the Lord. The king's heart, which is the mind. As the rivers of the water, he turneth it whatsoever he will. So these kings, all these at the summit, G-20 for example, all these kings are their mind, which is their heart, which is their mind, is controlled by Yahweh Shem Yoshua, man. The Lord controls all these kings, man. They're pawns to the Yahweh Shem Yoshua. He's controlling them. He's moving them how he's moving them, putting them in place how he's putting them in place, man. And giving that appearance of the optics, how the Lord sees fit to do, man. So he controls the king. He turns it how they want it. The Lord turns these kings and operates them how he wants to operate them, man. So he's controlling them to do certain things, man. And even to give the appearance of certain things from the optics, as far as the perception for others to see, man. Read that scripture again. That's why the scripture going back to 5 and 15 to Ecclesiastes, be not ignorant anything great or small, man. The king's heart is in the hands of the Lord, as the rivers of the water, he turneth whatsoever he will. So the Lord controls it, do whatever he wants to it. Scripture talks about he's the potter, man. He controls the clay. He created clay. He controls that clay, which is that vessel, man. And he'll put what's needed in that vessel and have that vessel operate and function according to what Yahweh Shem Yoshua wants it to, man. So he controls the heart of the ways of man, man. For man's ways, man's let me get this scripture. Pretty much the Lord directs the man's steps. So, where's that scripture? 20, Proverbs 20. Trying to find that scripture. A man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man understand his own way? So a man's goings of the Lord. Lord controls that man, just like he controls the hearts of that king in terms of whosoever, man. Okay. Yeah, this was a few short lesson on that. Related to that, that was the G2 summit. One of the Sergei Lavrov. During the G2 summit, he had medical issues. You know what I mean? So he had to be, he had to go to the hospital for that. So that was on the report, a Crux report. And there was a video I looked at too that Russian talking about relating to the G20. Perhaps, doing some kind of event while the G20 was in effect or something. That was a video. I was trying to find it, but I seen that somewhere. So it's a lot of action going on overseas. Obviously, North Korea, South Korea is still contentious with that. Missiles being fired, relating to that. So the Lord is beginning to, visit the world which He has made, man. He's allowed certain things to manifest and happen, man. But you're seeing different things happen every day, relating to you're seeing certain types of incidents regarding shootings and different things, And I believe University of Virginia. I think 3 students were pronounced exterminated and 2 injured or something. That was a recent report, So you're seeing a lot of different things, man. Istanbul, they had, I'm just going a little bit in the news. Istanbul, they had an incident in downtown Istanbul, Turkey. And the individual that did that, he came months prior before. That was in a report. So he was scoping the place out before, man. So it was pre-calculated, man. So a lot of things are happening, man. A lot of things are, happening overall here and abroad, man. On a day-to-day basis, man. I believe that number was up to 46 is one of the reports. Let me see. What was it? Al Jazeera report, I believe. Al Jazeera English. They're talking about that. And so a lot of things are going on, man. incident with talking about Mike Pence speaks about Donald Trump regarding January 6th. Pretty much how he feels about that situation. Yeah, that shooting was University of Virginia shooting. That was on NBC News. Then you had on this other station here talking about Mike Pence related to the January 6th situation. Pretty much his disapproval about related to Donald Trump. His displeasure, his disapproval about him. And they asked him, is he fit to be run for president again? And he pretty much directly said there should be other candidates. So he pretty much saying no. Should be better candidates as far as by that time. So this is different types of news going on.
The resort island Bali, Indonesia is the...
Let me see. It's another report. There's another one here, VOA. It's a 2-minute one. Let me see what this one is.
U.S. President Joe Biden and Xi Jinping, his Chinese counterpart. Amid high tensions, both leaders stressed the need to manage differences and avoid conflict.
We, as the leaders of China and the United States, should play a role in guiding and setting the directions so as to find the correct direction for the development of the relations between our two countries.
In the meeting that lasted over 3 hours, Biden said he sought to lower tensions over Taiwan, a self-ruled island Beijing considers its breakaway province.
I do not think there's any imminent attempt on the part of China to invade Taiwan, and I made it clear that our policy on Taiwan has not changed at all. Same exact position we've had. Made it clear that we want to see Taiwan resolved.
Biden met President host of the G-20 summit, a gathering of leaders of the world's 20 largest economies.
Well, as I told you, Mr. President, I don't think I'm going home.
The friendly banter belies months of intense diplomatic back and forth between Washington and Jakarta. Initially, Western leaders threatened a boycott unless Indonesia excluded Russian President Vladimir Putin. The compromise was to invite President Volodymyr Zelensky, despite Ukraine not being a G20 member. Zelensky is scheduled to participate virtually, while Moscow is sending Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov. The war in Ukraine and its impact on global food and energy security will be high on the agenda at the G20 summit that begins Tuesday.
That was a Voice of America video. 2 Timothy 3:1, knowing this, in the last days the perilous times shall come. So we in perilous times. Perilous goes to bad and evil times, man. 2 Esdras 8:50. Second Esdras 8:50. For many great miseries. For many great miseries shall happen in the latter times because they walk what? Greatly in pride, man. So many great miseries, perilous times are in the last times, man, in the latter times. We in those latter times. I'm going to get the scripture. Just paraphrasing it. Here we go. For many great miseries shall be done to them in the latter times. So those miseries, man, calamities, miseries, pretty much bad things in the latter times. For many great miseries that shall be done to them that in the latter times shall dwell in the world. because they walked in great pride. So these miseries and calamities, these are things that the Lord is beginning to send to judge the place, to judge the world, man. Because of what? Pride, man. Wickedness, man. Arrogance, man. Haughtiness, man. Pride before destruction, a haughty spirit before the fall. So the Lord is executing, sending fearful sights and signs from the heaven before he sends only his begotten son, man. He's allowing things to manifest, man. You're seeing, and for example, that just look at the state of society in this country, internationally, globally, man. So that's proof itself, man. We in a very unstable state, man. Tensions of these nations, war going on, you know. So that's the state we're in, man. I hope this helps. That was relating to those videos. This is Zaya Wolf. Hope it helps. Give all praise Yahweh Bashim Yosha Bashim Rakakadash. Wolf, Zaya Wolf Shalom. Thanks.